The Great War, as it was known, the First World War, began in the year of 1914 when the fabric of Europe was torn asunder. The seeds of discord had long been sown, watered by the thirst for empire and the tensions between rival powers. The mighty Austro-Hungarian Empire, led by Franz Joseph, sought to quell the rebellious forces in the Balkans, particularly against the Kingdom of Serbia. It was in the month of June the 28th that the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, was slain by a Serb nationalist in the city of Sarajevo. This act, though seemingly small, lit the spark that would set Europe aflame. For the great powers of Europe, Germany, France, Russia, and Britain had long prepared for such a conflict, though none desired its eruption. The Austrians, enraged by the death of their prince, declared war upon Serbia. And in this declaration, the world saw the first domino fall. Russia, bound by treaties to protect Serbia, began to mobilize its mighty armies. Germany, standing with Austro-Hungary, demanded that Russia cease its preparations, but Russia would not relent. Germany, seeing this as an act of aggression, declared war upon the Russian Empire. France, allied to Russia, was soon drawn into the conflict. And when Germany invaded Belgium, in an effort to strike at France, Britain, the protector of Belgian neutrality, declared war upon Germany. Thus, the great powers of Europe were drawn into a conflict that would last for years, leave millions dead, and reshape the world in ways no one could foresee. The battlefields. The war raged on the Western Front, where a stalemate between the Allied forces, Britain, and later the United States and the Central Powers, led by Germany, would come to define the conflict. Trench warfare! That most dreadful of conditions became the hallmark of this front. The soldiers, trapped in muddy, disease-ridden trenches, fought for mere yards of land, advancing only at great cost. The great powers poured men and munitions into this unyielding war, while the world above them watched with bated breath. To the east, the Russian Empire, under Tsar Nicholas II, clashed with Germany and Austria-Hungary, though its armies were less equipped for modern warfare. Despite initial successes, Russia would suffer great defeats, and internal dissent would boil over, leading to the Revolution of 1917, when the Tsar's regime was overthrown. The seas, too, were contested, as Britain, the mistress of the oceans, found herself locked in battle with Germany's powerful navy. Yet, despite the mighty U-boat, the Germans could not break the British blockade, and their naval ambitions were dashed. The rise of America. In 1917, the United States, led by President Woodrow Wilson, cast aside its neutrality and entered the fray. The reasons were manifold. The unrestricted submarine warfare waged by Germany, which led to the sinking of American ships. The Zimmermann telegram, in which Germany sought to ally with Mexico against the United States, and the desire to shape the post-war world in the image of democracy. The arrival of fresh American troops and resources turned the tide in favor of the Allies. The end of the war. In 1918, after years of relentless warfare, the weary soldiers of both sides saw their resolve weaken. Germany, now without hope of victory, sought an armistice. The 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month saw the cessation of hostilities. Yet, the end of battle did not bring peace, for the Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, placed the blame for the war upon Germany and demanded harsh reparations. This sowed the seeds of discontent that would later lead to the rise of Adolf Hitler and the Second World War.